Yo, what's Jalen Jables? It's Oscar the Boss. Remember me? I'm that guy who made the Monster Hunter sexual thing. Remember that? Was that like 800 views now? No. So, I have video essays I want to do that are in the works, but the problem is they take time and effort and like intelligence. And see, I'm not good at these things, right? Thinking is not, I can't do that reliably. So instead, how about I give you like a really half-assed run? That's the acronym. It's called HA.R, you know? Funny. This is gonna be flawed. This is gonna be bad. Lots of plot holes in the argument. Lots of holes in the argument, like Swiss cheese. Newsflash, buddy boy. That's my opinion. Of course, if I get things factually incorrect, you know, I'll try to apologize or avoid that. But other than that, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. I remember ranting to a friend about it, and he told me he actually enjoyed this anime, and I felt kind of bad after screaming about it. I mean, I'm still going to do it now, but if you like this anime, good. I can respect that. In fact, your opinion is probably a lot more thought out than mine is. However, I got some problems with it, so here they are. Literally, I thought I watched, like, season 1 of this completely going back, but it turns out I actually only watched, like, up to episode 16 of 24. I couldn't even finish the first season. I don't plan to. I watched these episodes, like a while ago as well. Like, we're talking multiple years. So it's not exactly fresh in my mind. So was I going to rewatch these episodes for this? First off, the title alone. I mean, that's not a title. It's a sentence. Goofy as hell. Look at it. Oscar. A bunch of anime titles are really overly long. Okay, a bunch of them are stupid then. As for the opening. The opening. Everybody knows about the anime opening and how it represents the entire anime as a whole. Look it up. For example, the One Punch Man opening is the greatest thing God has ever brought into this world, which can also be said for the anime. The One Punch Man Season 2 opening is still a fucking banger, but is animated horribly compared to the first one. This is representative of how Season 2 still has the heart of One Punch Man, but the animation quality has taken a complete nosedive. The Season 1 opening of Slime Funny Man, well, I listened to it again, and throughout the entire thing, I kind of went between hating it and honestly kind of digging it. Which I guess is a good summary from my thoughts on it. Just the anime in general. Okay, so we in it now. The guy's a 37-year-old virgin. Okay, good start. He gets stabbed trying to save his boy. Okay, interesting change. Truck-kun isn't making an appearance. Put like a truck people getting hit by trucks. Funny. Japanese people trying to get hit by a truck to go to another. Should I make a suicide rage joke? I probably shouldn't do that. His final wish for his buddy is to destroy his hard drive with all his porn. Relatable and funny for like 3 seconds. And you know the deal. It's an isekai. So the dude gets transported to another wild and wacky world. Wow. Generic fantasy world. And wow. It's also a video game for no reason because Sword Art Online was the first ever isekai ever in all of creation. At least I'm pretty sure it's a video game. I mean, these skills... like, they're there and shit. Skills, I don't really know. I don't really care. Oh, look, he's a predator. Anyway, he wakes up and he's a slime now with the power to eat shit, then analyze his properties and absorb their powers, Kirby style. He does a bit of grinding. Okay, good start. Actually showing him working for his power. There's some interesting aspects like you get. Like, for example, like he actually has to absorb the ability to, like, see and hear and speak, which I thought was pretty interesting. Then he meets this big dragon, and I remember the anime community just going crazy about this stuff. Like, look, like here's the scene. Yeah, guys, you get it? Because the big menacing dragon is actually a tsundere. Wow, that's so quirky. The comedy comes from the fact that you wouldn't expect this large monster to act in this way. The dissonance produced from the contrast being the source of the comedy. So he vores the dragon, does some more grinding, and gets the hell out of there. He comes across some goblins and gives them names, and turns out giving monsters names actually gives them power. Okay, names have power. I can dig it. Pretty interesting. To listen. See... when Rimuru names people, he quote-unquote evolves them, giving them power. So the goblins look more human and the ogres look more human and the lizard people. What the hell? Okay, goblins, ogres, and lizard people. Already pretty generic fantasy races, but that doesn't mean I don't like them. I like them. But part of why I love fantasy, right, and fantasy and fiction, all that is because we get to see like these different races, the different abilities, and even the different cultures, you know, it's interesting. But when this slimy evolves them, that interesting aesthetic is taken away in favor of just androgenized human look to them. And I'm gonna question, just pose a little query to you. If Rimuru making these species more powerful means essentially taking away notable aspects of that species in favor of human ones, is that kind of racist? Let's ask the jury. Oh wait, it's just me. Yeah, I'd argue a little bit. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, human washes its characters confirmed. Pretty laughable unintentional writing mishap there. I'm not actually that serious. Yeah, I'm not calling the writers like supremacists or something. I'm just having a laugh. Don't worry, nothing will ever top the writing being so bad that you unintentionally make your main hero a rapist. Remember that? This movie is the worst thing since insert bad thing. The lizard people are especially egregious. It's just like, this has nothing to do with them. So wait. Yeah, smell that. Yeah, the lizard people, look at the change. What is this? Why would you do this? It's just a really boring decision. Most of these creatures look much more cooler in their unnamed states, or at the very least distinct. What do we get now? Samey looking samers. Goblin titty? It's a very fleeting benefit. I kind of get it in the sense that, you know, it's just, you know, we're humans and things are more aesthetic if they kind of look like us in a way. If these fantasy creatures kind of look like humans, we can relate to them more, you know, kind of empathize with them a bit more. Of course, we humans can also relate to, like, you know, emotional struggle and development. So if you do that, then you can still keep your weird and kind of out there designs. But of course, they don't do that because that would require good writing. Seriously, I'm honestly astonished just how irrelevant and forgettable these characters were. Like, holy balls. I don't remember any of these Gobta, because funny, I guess, knows. There was that lizard prince guy who overthrew his father because stupid. Ogres, they were kind of cool, I guess. I mean, the one with the strings was cool. I like the string move. The one that has tits. Yeah, she's there, I guess. Apparently that's a draw, but like, you know, big tits. That's really it. Look. I'm a f***ing degenerate, alright? And I've seen anime, let me tell you. This? Mid. What? Gasp. How dare you? I don't care. She just has large boobies. That's it. That's not enough to make it bad. You need more. That it's just that's it. All forgettable. Oh wait, actually. There was a good character. Oh yeah, I remember what happened. So there's this called Shizu that we meet that was also reincarnated here from what looks like feudal Japan. It's actually a pretty interesting concept there. But turns out she's possessed by like this evil spirit, and we get this backstory part about how she had a friend, but the evil spirit killed her, like as a child. Pretty screwed up, yeah? So now she's kind of like scared to get close to people, you know, scared to open up in case the spirit ever erupts again. In which case, it eventually does. Like, wow, this actually sounds like an interesting character. I wonder what they're writing to. Oh, okay, they beat it. You see, it turns out Rimuru is immune to fire, so he easily beats and vores him. Why would you introduce an interesting idea just to basically solve it within the same episode? What a waste. But if you think that's lame, wait! There's more! Shizu is dying, so she requests Rimuru vores her. I'm not joking. He morphs and gains the power of woman. Congratulations. Cool thing actually is, side note, this elf earlier said that they'd be together in the future, Rimuru and Shizu. And of course Rimuru thought that means like, yeah, but you know, this is what it actually meant, vor. I mean, it's cool, I guess. It's a decent twist. So he gets her old powers and also the ability to change to a human form because everyone else is looking androgenized, might as well follow suit. And what the hell is this? Why? Why? What? Gosh, I hated this. I get it. You basically absorb Shizu, so using like a female form, whilst based, would be weird because that's her dead body, basically. And also weird because you're a dude! Be a dude! Gosh, when I said become androgynized, I didn't mean literally have your sex be androgynous. Why the hell can't he just be a dude? Wasn't he a dude in the old life? What, is he just spicing it up now? It's f***ing weird. It's like you squint and it's either a young boy or a young girl. It's the same with the voice. Like, you can't... that's what you go with? That's so moronic. It's like... Wait. No, Minefields aside, I know why they did this. There's a thing in anime where basically like the main character is just this blank slate character that doesn't really need to like have anything going for them. This is so the audience can essentially like put themselves into the character's shoes. Like an audience self-insert, if you will. So you can pretend that you're in there and like you're in the adventure, right? And you're powerful and getting all the This is really stupid. If you like it, you like it. I don't.
Believe it or not, I like my main characters to actually be, you know, characters. I'm not saying Rimuru is like a blank slate and people are going to argue in the comments, like, no, he's not. But, I mean, generic loser in the old world, but now in a new world, his decisions are also pretty basic, nothing dramatically controversial. And,
they literally made him genderless. Like, if that's not an invite for the audience to like graft themselves onto him, I really don't know what else is. Maybe they just wanted to keep the aspect of like the ambiguous gender of the slime, but yeah, still weird. I know people have complained to death about the audience self-insert trope, but funny thing about me, unique thing about me, thing I can add to the table is I always watch these kind of shows incorrectly, right? Like, I remember watching Monster Monsterme. It's like a classic harem anime, except with monster girls. If you don't know what monster girls are, congratulations, you're a functioning member of society. So I'm watching it, and of course the character is supposed to be one that, you know, you could put your shoes into. You know, he doesn't even have a name. And I wasn't inserting myself into the story. I was seething. I was furious. Why is this blank ass, no having personality, boring ass motherfucker getting all these He's nice sometimes. That's it. I'm nice. I'm much more interesting. It's not fair. Where's my spider mummy? I obviously recognize now that these women are caricatures. No women act like this. What a shame. But back when I was younger, this stuff kind of pissed me off. This was especially the case when the person didn't just get they got power. Ooh, the power. Ooh, I hate it. This this guy was essentially born with the ability to absorb and analyze any power in existence. That is broken. He spends a while kind of vacuuming up and killing some low-level enemies, but that's it. He's basically born with this ungodly power. Kirito. Now, I don't say this lightly. Even with Kirito, you could argue he earned his power by just no-lifing video games his entire life. I put Kirito above this guy. Kirito, I hate that guy and his anime. I mean, I put him above in the sense of like owning power. I still like Rimuru like vastly more than Kirito because this arrogant asshole. Ooh, I hate that guy. Ooh. So yeah, protagonist is broken and really powerful because audience isn't powerful. Power fantasy, ha ha ha. Lame. Get the out of frame. Just room stalls. People have also complained like to the universe and back about like how bad like broken anime protagonists are. I will as well. See, people say my standards are a bit too high, but you know, I appreciate the basic concept of struggle in storytelling because struggle creates character, conflict creates character. The main character trouncing any and all obstacles in their way is not entertaining. It is not engaging. It's cool for like the first few times, but it grows hollow and just boring. This is like really basic writing that for some reason just seems to slide in some anime. When your characters struggle, when they work hard towards a goal that they want, we as humans can't help but root for that character. If you're writing and you want, you know, your readers to like root for the character, just make them struggle. All right, give them a hard time because they're gonna want to root for them, right? Everyone likes an underdog. Everyone can relate to that struggle because we've all at some point having had to work hard, having to struggle for something that we wanted to achieve, you know? Conversely, if characters do not struggle at all and they just get served every victory easily on a silver platter, that's not really relatable, and I personally despise them. It's not that they're powerful alone, but that smug, arrogant look on his face, flexing his power over the plebeians under him. This power wasn't earned. Why are you smiling like that? You really think you're better than these people? You were born better, you piece of shit! There was a package at the door. Anyway, it turns out I'm a pretty spiteful person. This trope can obviously be done well. You know, characters can be overpowered and still be compelling. The writing has to be great for that to work though. So it doesn't work here. The best example, of course, is One Punch Man, favorite anime, and I will take every opportunity to suck its veiny, manly cock. In that show, Saitama is the One Punch Man, a dude so powerful, he beats everything in one shot. He may be, and probably is, the strongest thing, well, ever. Yet despite this, the writer does something ungodly, unheard of, so rare, it's near impossible. Nowadays, in current times, it's becoming less and less seen, as if it never happened. The writer makes a likable protagonist. Saitama is just a guy. He's really down to earth and chill, and most importantly, he's humble, right? He uses his power to help people. He never shows off or looks down on others for not being as strong as him. In fact, he envies them. He envies the characters actually being able to struggle and not chance every obstacle that comes their way, because otherwise it's just really boring. You see why I like it? It's literally a parody of these power fantasy tropes. The illustrator for the One Punch Man manga, who's a master, by the way, look at this shit, has gone on record saying like one of the main reasons he took up the project was just because of how likable and relatable Saitama was. In Mob Psycho 100, the guy called Mob, who's actually, first of all, the story is actually written by the same guy who wrote One Punch Man. He's basically one of the strongest, if not the strongest sidekick or esper in the world, but he doesn't really care about that. He just wants to, you know, he wants to get fit, essentially. You know, he wants to get the girl, you know, and it seems kind of basic and kind of funny, but it's this whole point of like, you need to give a character something that they can focus on and develop. There's not much focus on him developing his power because he's already that insanely broken. So the focus is mainly on him just like getting better in other aspects, right? Give your characters something to develop. You could argue that in Reincarnated as a Slime, that his goal is to, you know, make friends. But, well, okay, I'll get into that later. Superman isn't this analogy for Jesus or something. The whole point is that he's just a regular old farm boy who just happens to have godlike power. He's a good dude. He's like us. We can relate to him. Do you really think I'm going to relate to some genderless, blank slate weirdo born with the power to consume and destroy everything, who basically faces no notable obstacles or hindrances in his plans? Tell me, when has life ever been that easy? Like 37-year-old virgin... You know, I like to think I'm not that much of a loser. Because I don't go outside, I kind of do some writing and have some ideas in my head, and I've got a good own example here that I just want to talk about. It's related, and also it's my show, so thank you. So one of the characters basically has this ring that gives them like 1/10 of the power of the strongest being in the universe. Very goofy guy, extremely powerful. And you get this older guy whose power is that he never gets tired. So as a result, he trains like every day, every second of his life, and is like pretty powerful. But like he's no match for the first guy, so he absolutely demolishes him. And there's this whole conflict that comes from that, because at that point, the first guy like beating up a bunch of other people, so he's a bit cocky. So the second guy basically rants to him, saying stuff like, "Oh, how you didn't earn this power. It could be used so much better by someone who's actually competent, and how it's wasted on him, and how, you know, how dare he flaunt his power over these like hardworking people when he essentially did nothing to get his. And this argument essentially becomes like a two-way development point. Like the first guy basically develops this imposter syndrome. You know, he feels like he's not worthy of this power, because the second guy is right in a sense that he literally did nothing to earn it. It basically just fell from the sky, the ring did. The second guy has to grapple with the terms that it doesn't matter how hard he works, because there will always be assholes like the first guy who basically like have their power given to them on a silver platter. And just this cool two-way conflict. It's really, it's dope. I think about it sometimes. They'll become friends later, don't you worry. But that's what I like to see personally. Like, holding this godlike power, it's not a carefree thing. There's a lot of responsibility and pressure that would weigh down on a person, especially if they just kind of got it out of the blue. It's very unrelatable, or just on how on top of things he always seems to be. Okay, now my back is itchy. I should not wear a robe in this weather. It's summer right now. And, well, this is just part of my costume. Cost design thing, I don't know. It's hot. Look, when you watch an anime like Baki, seeing like these beasts that have dedicated their life to like training and honing their skills to be the strongest they can be, compared to someone just getting ultra powerful out of the blue and them just using it so nonchalantly and smugly, you can't help but feel kind of insulted. Let's look at the first major conflict arc, that being the orc invasion thing. The villain of this arc is basically this sea of orcs, right, consuming anything in its path, to the point where like they'd consume their own dead just to sustain themselves. And I'm thinking like, okay, you know, this actually is kind of interesting. I wonder what, and they're dead. What pisses me off as well is that there's like a bunch of back and forth politics and alliance making and betrayal and such, which was kind of interesting at the time. But I'm here just thinking to myself, what the f is the point? Seriously, what is the point of all this diplomacy and shit if the characters can just roll up and decimate the enemy with no issue? Isn't the whole point of a wartime alliance making... phone call from my mum.
Oscar?
Yeah, hi mum.
Can you go and rescue Jasper, please?
Where is he?
He's walking down. He's got a blister with his new from V0re and as well as the shoes.
Do you want me to drive the car there?
No, I have the car at the station. Can you?
Do you want me to carry him?
Down with his flip flops.
Oh, okay.
Sliders.
All right.
Alright?
Alright.
Take your phone so you can find him, okay?
Okay.
Hurry up.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.
Bye. I have to save my brother. I'll be back in a minute.
Walk my brother. Literally in the middle of recording and they have to do this to me. It's not... Well, oh, poor kid has blisters. Look at him.
You died after 1 day of walking. We had 3.
Yeah, well, that wasn't my fault. You chose it.
So yeah, I don't know if you can hear over there, but basically one of his friends was like locked out of his house, so he basically just invited him here. And now he's just taking the room where I was recording. Great.
Sorry, bit of a distraction there, but you know, duty calls as a brother and such. I am the best brother in the world. That is objectively true. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, as I was saying, isn't the whole point of like wartime alliance making is to tackle like a great threat that the two individual forces can't tackle alone? It's done like so effortlessly, you're almost mocked for actually worrying about anything interesting happening. Seriously, these guys were hyped up for like a good few episodes, and it ends with this goofy V0re where they see who can eat each other first. People will argue that the focus isn't actually the combat in this anime, but rather the city building aspect. The act of V0re essentially starting from nothing and building a nation from scratch. This building a town civilization style plot kind of intrigued me as well. You know, that's that part that you can, like the powerful character can develop. Bullshit. When he rolled up to the blacksmith guy and basically like 3D printed a bunch of best quality ultra swords, I was just done. Let me tell you something, buddy. When you are a proverbial god being with nigh infinite power potential, with the ability to out magical healing poop and powerful weapons, and the ability to literally raise the power of others that swear loyalty to you, you're gonna make friends pretty easily. I'm not gonna do like a Jesus comparison, but it'd be pretty funny to see Rimuru crucified, actually. That'd be pretty funny. Is that a bit? I don't know. I don't care. It's just exactly the same as the combat. The plots where Rimuru has to like find allies and like build up his relationships just feels like going through the motions. It's like equivalent to like playing through a side quest, but you're ridiculously over leveled, so you just blast through it without any effort. Because I see both sides of the argument, and because I'm a fair man, here's another counter argument, you know, just for me to consider. You could argue that Rimuru could completely do all these things by himself, but the goal is to make friends. That's the whole point, because it was established in the past life that he barely had any friends, so in this he wants to like build them up, which, okay, that's a good premise. If once again any of these characters were memorable or interesting in the slightest, the only character with any potential was dissolved. Here's another counter to my argument. One could argue that the power growth isn't like other anime. He's always like Rimuru, he's always like absorbing and unlocking new abilities, and it's interesting to see like the new powers he unlocks and what he does with them. And yeah, okay, I can see that's a pretty good aspect of it. It's always nice to see what happens next, but I'm gonna have to bring up the Warframe argument. See, there's a game called Warframe that me and my friends have been playing on and off for like a while. Space ninjas, cool stuff. You can like upgrade your abilities and weapons and stuff, and you do this with like modding, and there's like this sort of calculation, like damage calculations, and like you know, what type of damage you want to go for, all that stuff. What? You'll be in the background though. Can you just? I'm nearly done. Can you just like? All right, I swear I'll be like 10 minutes. Love you. Gay. So yeah, Warframe. So basically, there's a lot of min-maxing and like calculation involved to create like the most razor-tight build you can, so you can be prepared for the highest difficulty and be the most powerful. Except not really. See, me personally and a lot of other people, we just kind of half-assedly slap together a decent or so build, and it can basically play the hardest difficulty just the same. Breathe. The only reason you'd actually want to like completely min-max and have the perfect build is to just see numbers go high. It's just completely unnecessary. And it's the same logic that is applied here. If Rimuru can already annihilate any problem in his path, I really don't give a how much stronger he gets. Okay, when we get to episode 16, I'm kind of running out of steam at this point, and we're introduced to Demon Lords. Ooh, Demon Lords, okay. They were teased a bit in the H.A.R arc, like, you know, they were behind it and all, and a bit from Shizu's backstory too. So we finally get to see them. No! What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Pun intended. These are supposed to be Demon Lords. These are what the big bads look like? Huh? What is this pussy ass? Demons are some of the coolest thing ever. Like, just ever. Are these demons? Hell no! See what I did there? They look so, once again, human and underwhelming and just like, oh, I bet they're really powerful. I don't care. The designs are not interesting. They just look like really cool humans with like cool costumes. It's not boring. These are not demons. Now, is this a demon? Oh yes. Is this a demon? Absolutely. Is this a demon? Do I need to ask? Is this a demon? No. This was drawn by a pervert. Side note. See this guy? This guy here? This is supposed to be Asmodeus. Yeah, that's right. Asmodeus, however you want to say it. One of the strongest and most dangerous demons in the Nine Hells. And we get this? This zesty looking motherfucker. From the groin to the bust. Yeah! Hell of a boss broke me. Are you made of glass? Cringe. This is cringe. Though, I mean, this is only like part 1 of the season 1 finale. And, I mean, where's part 2? It's been a while. I mean, not that I care. It's just, you know, you can't leave me hanging like that, man. Come on. Yo, new shirt, different recording. I feel like I should just clarify. When I'm dissing the demon designs, I'm not trying to say that, oh, this is how demons are supposed to look. You can't have demons look like this. That's not what I'm saying. I assume you're smart enough to figure that out. Maybe. I know there's like objectively good and bad character design. Just type in like Sonic OC, you'll see what I mean by bad. But really, a lot of it is up to preference and it's quite subjective. The reason I'm complaining though is the same reason I complained about the other races. It's just a boring decision. The awesome thing about demons is that you can get so creative and wild with the designs, and the concept of demons is like such a broad one that you can pretty much do anything. And honestly, if they just went with red skin and horns, I'd be kind of disappointed because it's just kind of generic at this point. You have the creative freedom to do like anything you want, and you choose what is, in my opinion, the least most interesting option. It's just a shame is all. Like, what is this obsession with humans? I see enough of these assholes in real life, and I hate the vast majority of them. Anyway, now we get to the whole reason I slog through this shit. This now, I've said I'll be honest. I heard the glowing reviews, I heard the cool concepts, but what pushed me over the edge to watch this? I saw a pin-up of this girl, and I was just like, I bet episode 1. Now that I've finally arrived, mid. This girl is mid, annoying, dumb, like really stupid. Just mid. Why are all the bitches in this mid? Why am I watching this? They were like, oh, she's so much stronger than even Rimuru, so he can't beat her directly. So he just gives her some honey, and they're best friends now because I don't care. At this point, it really doesn't matter if she's stronger than him. Like, people are gonna say like, oh, but this character's stronger than him. He's not completely broken. It's like, well, I mean, he dealt with her just as easily as the rest of his problems. So once again, no struggle, no interest. I enjoy a more tactical fight, right, where like an opponent beats a stronger one using their wit. But, you know, that usually takes time to like formulate the strategy and stuff. He just kind of does it and then it's over and it's like, oh, wow, okay. And with the discovery that the bitch was mid, honestly, there was really nothing keeping me around anymore, so I stopped. So that's it. That's all. Honestly, kind of disappointed me. I don't know if you could tell by how much I've been ragging on it. As I said before, what kind of drew me the most was the whole like aspect of the city building. But that was a cakewalk just as much as the combat thing. I guess I was just expecting something different here, you know? Something a little smarter, something a little more nuanced or interesting, but nah, just same old shit as always. I'm not gonna be like that one woman who comments on the entire state of isekai after only having watched 3. But the ones that I have watched, these are the one, by the way. You may notice a pattern of how I pick my anime. But the ones that I have watched or seen seem quite samey. Something I can say with confidence though is that there are a lot of these, like a lot, to the point where going against and subverting the formula has become kind of cliche in and of itself. So in this kind of environment, then the only thing left to do to stand out is to just have your writing be really, really good. Or make the premise even weird, like the one where like they reincarnate as a vending machine. Like, if that ever gets an anime, I will watch that. So yeah, that's that. If you f with this show, you f with it. That's great, man. I'm not gonna say like you can't. There is stuff to like here. Don't get me wrong. The fights and animations are pretty cool. The power growth, whilst I commented on it earlier, it can be exciting. You know, the dopamine hit of unlocking new abilities in games is like, it's replicated here pretty well. And it's interesting to see what he does with it next, really. And yes, there are some decently interesting parts of the story and the world. Trust me, there's things that are a lot more generic than this. It's a decent anime, something nice and chill to have when you're chilling or playing some games with the boys or something, I don't know. I've heard isekai being described as junk food, and from that perspective, this one's a cut above the rest. I'll give it that much. Sorry I kind of tore into it a bit. It's just not for me, really, you know. Just take my review with a huge lump of salt. I don't take game reviews seriously when they haven't even completed the full game, so don't take the words of a guy who hasn't even finished season 1 too badly. Really what spurred me on to make this was that there's Really what spurred me on to make this was that there's apparently a movie coming out for it, and I saw the trailer, and hey, he actually looks kind of cool here, and he's a demon lord? Oh, you gotta be shitting me!